Action. Alright lads, welcome back to another video. This is obviously the player ratings video for the game against Ayr United just yesterday, and obviously it was another fantastic win for us. 1-0 wins, 2 wins on the bounce that are both 1-0, and 6 points out of 6. You can't really complain, can you? Or can you? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do a hell of a lot of moaning in this video. In fact, barely any at all. It's just wee niggles that I just feel we could be improving on. But overall, it's been a fantastic 2 results in the bounce, and going into this Partick game, I'm feeling relatively confident that we can definitely avoid any sort of relegation worries. But ask me that again this time next week. So, starting off with the goalkeeper, as per usual, Ryan Scully. I'm going to give him another solid rating because he did do a lot of those he had one vital save in the first half where he saved it with his leg, and it really was a vital save because it was definitely going in the net, and then he also did his bit of coming out and coming at crosses and grabbing it, so he did his bit once again and did his bit for the team, so he's going to get another solid rating of 8. And by the way, the guy loves a celebration at the end of the game. Next up was the change to the lineup, obviously with Jackson Longridge having a late injury, which he was carrying kind of throughout the week, but he said he would be fit enough to play the game, but then obviously he kind of aggravated it more in the warm-up before the game. So Ryan Williamson came in at right back, and that meant James Cragen moved over to left back. But for now, we're going to talk about Ryan Williamson, and I'm going to give him a decent enough mark. He did his bit with obviously coming down the wing and crossing it in to get us the penalty. Obviously, the Ayr United player handballed it from his cross. But overall, I think his confidence really needs to come back, and hopefully maybe that run up to get the penalty and stuff like that will improve his confidence, because I think he's the type of player that if he doesn't get regular games in a team, his confidence starts to drop. So I'm going to give him a decent enough mark, but nothing too spectacular. A 7. Next up, Lee Ashcroft. Him and his partner Danny Devine have had 2 fantastic games in a row, I think. And I think for the second week in a row, they're both going to get the same mark from the game. Obviously, then I'm just going to talk about Lee Ashcroft. He's been a good captain since Callum Davidson's came in. I think Callum Davidson himself has really had an impact on players like Ashcroft and Devine, as Callum Davidson was a defender himself and he knows what it's all about. So I think they've really improved based on that. But yesterday, Ashcroft, 8. And honestly, same goes for Danny Devine. I think he has really improved based on Callum Davidson coming in and stuff like that. Callum Davidson was quoted when he came in saying that players like Devine, Ashcroft, Cragen really need to start being leaders for Dunfermline, and I think you can kind of see that sort of mentality wearing off on players like Ashcroft and Devine now. And even though it's still early days, we are seeing a bit of an improvement. So a solid 8 for, I think, for the second week in a row for both the centre backs. So positives. Next up, versatile man James Cragen. He's now played in his 5th position since signing for us about a year ago, and for a player that we all didn't really come in with a lot of positivity when we signed him, he is probably an average championship player, but he's proved a fantastic asset for us, and as I said, versatile to the core, which any manager would love, and it's fantastic to see him put in a good shift no matter where he seems to play. So for his performance at left back yesterday, I'm going to give him a 7.5, just based on the fact that obviously he wasn't fantastic, that isn't his position, but he's not anywhere near the worst player in the team for yesterday at all. So 7.5 for James Cragen in a position that he's probably never played in his life before. Now here comes the stickler, James Cragen. Well, just on him. James Vincent. Now he obviously has kind of been deployed, or he was deployed mainly yesterday as the more attacking of him and Tom Beadlin, and no matter where he seems to play, I just don't think he's got the kind of forward nature in him. He scored that goal at Falkirk, which you would think completely negates a point like that, but he never seems to really look forward and drive forward with the ball. He always seems to have his back to goal no matter what. So I think for that reason, and that reason kind of alone, and he just need to kind of improve on that side of the game, I'm going to give him a 6 for yesterday's performance. A half mark down on last week's game, because I just think that it's been kind of 2 weeks in a row where it's been kind of the same performance for him, and I do kind of need to start looking at that and thinking, should the marks start to go down, the more he performs the same way. So hopefully that's an improvement that he can have in the next couple of weeks. Now moving on to the man himself, Joe Thompson. Him and Tom Beadler are going to get the same rating this week, and basically it's just because they did put in a good shift. Both of them didn't really have a massive impact on the game. Joe Thompson had one really good cross for the Aidan Connolly chance in the second half, but apart from that, I think they both had very similar types of games. So for now, Joe Thompson is going to get a 7.5. He's not my man of the match for this week, but 7.5 for Joe Thompson. And then, as I said, Tom Beadler getting the same mark, very similar type of performance to Joe Thompson, and both really looking like assets to the team, and especially in that midfield where we are looking a bit more vibrant this season than we were last season at one point. Moving on to Ryan Blair. He had one wee chance in the first half, which was probably his only real involvement. He was involved bits in the second half, but I didn't really see a hell of a lot from him that I did last week, and his set piece delivery was okay yesterday. It wasn't what it was last week, so he is going to get a wee bit of a downgrade for last week's rating. I believe last week's rating was either a 7.5 or an 8. This week he's going to get a 7. And again, a pairing that is going to get pretty much the same rating, well actually the exact same rating. So Aidan Connolly and Bruce Anderson. Aidan Connolly, another good wee shift. I said it in my vlog yesterday when he got subbed off for Louis Longridge. A really good shift for him, and he put himself about just like he did last week against Inverness. He's a niggly wee player, and again, he could have got a goal if with that chance. As I said, Joe Thompson crossed it into him, and it was a very similar chance to the Ayr United one that they had in the first half. And if he'd put that one away, just like his chance against Inverness last week, he might have got a better rating this week. But for now, he's going to get a solid 7.5 rating. And once again, the same as I said, Bruce Anderson. He's going to get the same rating as Aidan Connolly as well. A solid enough performance, did his bit, but kinda felt a bit frustrated with him just because sometimes the ball just wasn't falling correctly for him, and he had a few breaks that he could have maybe had better decision making and it would have benefited the team a bit more. But on the basis of just a solid performance, 7.5. And then of course we actually need to talk about a substitute this week, because one of the substitutes was a match winner. And this time it was Louis Longridge. Obviously he's just came back for his injury, came back last week, came on for Aidan Connolly last week, and he came on again for Aidan Connolly this week. And this time he had the perfect impact by scoring for the spot and getting us the win. So for that, I'm going to give Aidan Connolly, again I've said the wrong player's name, I'm going to give Louis Longridge an 8, because what more can you ask for him? He came on, did his bit, played his role very well, and then obviously got the winning goal. And a win that really pleased me, and probably pleased a lot of Pars fans that weren't expecting to probably pick up 3 points away yesterday. And that's it for this video, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did agree with any of the ratings I've given, then let me know down below. Also maybe give your ratings for the Dunfermline team. Obviously mainly Dunfermline fans will be commenting that, but if you do have any ratings, then let me know what you thought. And also subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will be probably the matchday vlog actually for the Partick game, the big match on Tuesday night. I'll see you then. Cheers guys.